not wish to be recorded, please let us know, because we will be putting the recording on our website so that others can see it, okay? There is a chat box at the end of, if you look on your screens, there should be a chat box. If you have any questions that you'd like us to answer for you, or you'd like to ask, please put it in the chat box. Or you can use the wave symbol as well to let us know. If you do not wish to be recorded, people, please put it in the chat box and let us know. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in that case, over to you, Breda.
Thank you. So welcome everybody. It's nice to see some new faces. Well, sorry, I can't speak today. Faces. So thank you for joining us. As some of you know, we have guest speakers come on for each cafe, and today we've been joined by Willpower. So, as I said, they've already introduced themselves. We've got Hassan, who's the head of sport and physical activity, and we have Bob, who's the spinal unit physical activity advisor at Stoke Mandeville. So I'm going to do a bit of a Q&A with them, so we can find out a bit more about Willpower and what the organisation offers and how it helps people. So the first question is, as I say, for those who don't know about Willpower, if you can tell us a little bit more about what the organisation does and the activities and services that you provide.
Hi, Breda, thank you. And I'm sure most of you may be known or have heard about Willpower, but for the benefit of those who does not know about Willpower, I'll give a little bit of brief description. And Willpower is a national charity for British wheelchair sport. And we are based at Stoke Mandeville Stadium, and which is the birthplace of Paralympic movement. And in my experience over the last 2 years in Willpower, I have been in a couple of exhibitions and trying to promote what you do. And when they ask about Willpower, some knows, but some people, they don't know what Willpower is. And also I asked about birthplace of Paralympic movement again. Some of them knew and most of them knew, but some people didn't know. And then one of the things why I say this is, if you ask where the Olympics were born, then everybody will say, yes, it's in Greece and at the end, but Olympiad. But if you say Paralympics, but many of them did know. And I just want to highlight, since 2012, the Paralympic Heritage Flame Lighting Ceremony takes place in every 2 years for summer and winter Paralympic Games at Stoke Mandeville Stadium. That's where we are based. And it's similar to Olympic flame lighting ceremony, which take place in ancient Olympia in Greece. And in Willpower, we believe in transforming life through sport. And Willpower have been providing opportunities in sport and physical activities for people with physical impairment for over the last 70 years. And we deliver events and programs that provide opportunities, facilities, and expertise and equipment that enable disabled people to participate in sport and physical activity to lead healthy, active lives. There are 2 annual flagship events which we are hosting. One is National Junior Games, and other one is Interspinal Unit Games. And National Junior Games are for children between the ages of 12 to 18. And this runs for 4 days. It's a mixture of have a go and friendly competition in a variety of sports. And our next game is scheduled for October, 5th to 9th of October, but hopefully situation will be okay with COVID-19. Otherwise, we may have to postpone, all depend on what the situation is in coming months. And our other major event is Interspinal Unit Games. This is for newly paralyzed people with spinal cord injury. And this again, a 4-day event, which takes place at Stoke Mandeville, where the newly paralyzed people, they can try more than 20 different sports and physical activities. And game will see more than 100 participants and about 60 support staff from 14 spinal injury centers and specialist units across the United Kingdom. And this year games were scheduled to be held in last April, but unfortunately we had to postpone to November. And we also deliver 6 to 8 sports festivals throughout the year at Stoke Mandeville and nationally. These sports festival could be for all ages, or it's a mixed age, or specifically either primary or junior or adults. And all these are one-day events, and participants will be able to try 7 to 10 different sports and physical activities. And we also provide advice on sport and physical activity to patients through 8 physical activity advisors who are based in 7 spinal injury centers across England and Scotland. And we also provide few training opportunities for the workforce development by way of conducting courses, and we deliver coaching and officiating courses for sports and volunteer training days and sports wheelchair movement course, and also the tutor courses for sports movement wheelchair course. And that is pretty much a brief summary of what we do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you for that, Pat, and fingers crossed all the tournaments will be able to go ahead, as you say, at a time when things are a little bit calmer. So would you be able to give people an overview of the different types of accessible sports that are available that people can try if they haven't done so through their rehabilitation?
I think, Breda, yes. In the past, it had been a bit challenging for disabled people to take part in some of the sports. But nowadays, unlike in the past, situation has changed, and now people with SIA can take part in almost all the sports, of course, with the suitable adaptation. And almost any sport in which a non-disabled person can take part can be modified for a participation by individual with disability. But I would say sometimes the challenge would be to just, although you want to take part in some activity, the challenge would be to identify and locate a sport which is suitable for you. And I would like to just share my screen with you all and show you in our website some easy way to find the sport. And there are 2 documents which I would like to share with you. One is a find a sport to activity, which gives details about 35 different sports, and also a resource which has a detail about how to access a sport and physical activity in your local area. I will see if I can share those 2 documents on the screen with you all. Then you will have a bit of an idea what I'm trying to say.
Fab, thank you.
Yeah, this is the Wheelpower website. And if you go to get active, can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And if you go here and it's under get active, find a sport. Oh, why technology, it's not working. Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what the find a sport page. And this has given the details about 35 different sports and activities. And if you click any of the sports, it will give further details and where you can find more details about that particular sport and a little bit about the basics of that particular sport. And if you move back, at the beginning of this, we have this, you can refer to Deloitte's Parasport and find the sport tool as well. And if you click here, it will take you to the Parasport website. Formerly, it was known as Deloitte Parasport, but after 2016 Paralympic Games, this page was sponsored by Toyota, so now it's called Parasport, powered by Toyota. And the other document which I want to share with you is, which is in our same in the website under resources. If you move to resources, then if you click under sport and physical activity, and you can see something about adaptive yoga videos, again in our, which we released few weeks ago. And this is the document which I want to share with you all, how to access sport and physical activity in your local area. And if you look at here, and if you scroll down, there's a guide which you can download. We have hard copies as well. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger, then you can see it clearly. And this is a resource which you have built up from where you can find the suitable sport for you. And in the first part, it says about willpower. Then it says about national governing bodies for sport. And it says about Sport England. If you click here, it will take you to the site of that particular national governing bodies site of the Sport England. And if you move back, the other thing is active partnerships. There are about 46 active partnerships across the England. So if you go to their websites, again, you can find out the relevant activity and sports for your desire. The National Disability Sports organize this NDSOs. So Wheelpower is one of the National Disability Sport organizations specialized for the impairment. And these are British Blind Sports, CP Sports, and Dwarf Sports Association, Limpower, MenCap, UK Deaf Sport, that's Wheelpower us, and Special Olympics. And again, you can click here, it should take you to, this one doesn't work. Anyway, so if you go to their website, again, you can find out a lot of sports and physical activities. If you move down, that's a Parasport website, we already talked about it. And in your local councils, also you can find some sports and physical activities. Again, you can find and Leisure Trust and Activity Alliance, they have 6 regions across the England, and there are regional coordinators, and they also work with all these clubs and associations. And they also have a website where you can find a lot of activities in their website. If you click here, it should take you to the Activity Alliance website. And very recently, they released a thing called STEP for you to develop your own activities. And that is pretty much the end of that document. So, but if you're in a home country, probably then you must go to the website of Disability Sports Wales or Disability Sports Northern Ireland or Scottish Disability Association to find out some local activities and sports in your particular area. I hope that I have covered in that.
Yeah,
Breda.
That's brilliant, thank you. And so obviously during this lockdown at the moment, everybody's having to change the way they support people. How are you able to provide support at the moment during lockdown? Are you offering anything online that people can access?
Bob, do you want to share that with me? We have developed so many resources, yeah. But Bob, I'll hand over to Bob, so Bob will share that with us.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I'm Bob O'Shea. I'm a C6, C7 Tetra, have been for 31 years. I work as a physical activity advisor for Wheelpower. My main role is going into hospitals and helping patients with their rehab within the spinal unit physio department. So Wheelpower at the moment, they're in collaboration with all its partners promoting the Stay Active campaign. One of the things they're doing now at this present moment is that they're posting regular videos on their website and across various social media. These videos demonstrate and instruct some simple exercise videos, routines that you can do at home with little or no equipment. 2 yoga videos have been released so far, with another 2 in the pipeline by Nina Boswell-Brown. There'll also be some workouts from Ella Bowman, a wheelchair basketball player and wheelchair rugby player. Ben Clark will be releasing some videos. He's a personal trainer. Yeah. And tomorrow there's some the first video of mine's coming out using resistance bands at home. But so far these exercises amongst our partners in social media have been shared already 6 times and viewed. Also tomorrow Wheelpower will be launching a fund and a scheme where disabled people can get packs of resistance bands for use while they're at home during this lockdown period. All that will start tomorrow.
Fab. And I bet all that information's on like all website and social media channels, and obviously when it becomes available we'll share that as well, so people can look out for that. And what advice do you give in terms of how much activity we should be doing? Obviously there's always different guidelines and things, but what do you recommend in terms of the amount of physical activity people do a week?
Yeah, there are a lot of, sorry, the internet's playing up a bit. Yeah, there are a lot of people with different recommendations, but the one we tend to stick to most is Public Health England, where they say you should be doing 150 minutes a week of exercise. You know, that equates to half an hour a day for 5 days, and 2 or 3 strength and conditioning exercises to improve your muscle strength. On the Willpower website is a really helpful document called Being Active. Hassan, are you able to share that for us?
I will try.
It's an everyday guide for people living with an impairment or a health condition. It's a really good document, you know, for anyone starts, you know, if they're not used to doing exercise or they're looking for things to do. It's a helpful place to start.
That's fab. So yeah, that's obviously on the website, so people can go and take a look at that. And in terms of, as you said, Bob, about like the resistance bands, what can people use those for? What can they do within the home with those?
Sorry, I've missed this. I can't hear it.
Not to worry. I'll repeat the question. You mentioned resistance bands. What kind of different exercises can people do with those within the home?
Well, in this video I'm doing tomorrow, even though I'm doing it in the garden, I do show with this pack that you can get online, and that Willpower are going to be releasing sets. I show ways of you can use them indoors by attaching to door handles or over the tops of doors, and giving us some simple exercises using those. It'll all explain itself in the video.
Okay, that's fab. And could you tell us a little bit about the Wheelwrights 2020 fund?
Sam, you're better off covering that, I think.
Yeah, I'll do that. Just 1 second. Yeah, just to add a little bit on what Bob said earlier, that Active Guide is the document which was produced by the English Federation of Disability Sport. Now it is Sport. Yeah, now it is called as Activity Alliance, so that's the same organization. Although it's a few years old, it's a very useful guide for anyone to read if you wish to. Yeah, about the question which Breed asked about the Wheelwright Fund, and this is the 4th year we are launching this fund, and we call it the Wheelwright 2020 Fund. And this fund is open for anyone who has acquired the spinal cord injury within the past 5 years. And this fund, we work in partnership with a worshipful company of Wheelwrights. They are the people who are funding for us. And this fund is open for anybody to ask for equipment such as wheelchair, basketball wheelchair, or tennis wheelchair, or rugby wheelchair, or racing chairs, or sporting equipment such as shooting, rifle, pistols, or anything, or travel expenses, or to cover the coaching fees, or to cover some club membership fee, things like that. And we have mainly 3 specific aims which we are trying at as per the criteria, because the first aim is we want to make it easier for individual to start getting active, for someone who has not been doing anything, for a person like them to get started getting active. And the second aim is make it easier for individual to remain active, someone who does something to continue to do what they are doing. And the thirdly, for someone to achieve their sporting potential, to get into a pathway to the Olympic program. So it doesn't matter whatever the level you are in your sport or physical activity, it is a fund which we are offering for them to get into the sports or to be in the sport to achieve their maximum potential of going to the Paralympics. So fund is now open and we'll be closing the application of 26th of June 2020. That's in a couple of months' time. And most grants, what we have done so far could be from 100 to 1,000 pounds, but there had been occasions where we have paid about 2,000 pounds. And sometimes some of the equipments are more costlier than 2,000. Suppose if somebody wants to buy a top-end rugby chair or wheelchair basketball chair, it may cost about 4,000 or 5,000. But in that case, we always expect them to raise part funding. So we will release our part when they can raise the other funding. And again, all the details are available on the website. And if you go to the website, our website, which I showed you earlier, so you can see the application. If I can show it if someone is interested. Rita, you think it's better to show it or people can look in there on their own time?
Yeah, I think people can go back to it. I mean, because you can always put the link into the chat box as well.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions for Bob or Passan, feel free to ask, or if you think of something further on during the cafe, then please feel free to ask, because again, you can give a wave or use the chat box function. That's absolutely fine. But if there's no immediate burning questions, thanks, Jamie. Yeah.
Am I unmuted now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, Jamie.
I've got a question. So, I have a hand bike, and I also exercise just via pushing. So when the weather's been so good, it's been lovely. I've been able to get out on my hand bike or get out pushing. And now the weather's turned, I'm finding that I'm stuck in the house. So I was wondering if there's anything that I could use in the house in terms of keeping my sort of cardio up. I was wondering if anyone would use anything like these kind of rollers for a wheelchair or for a hand bike that would maybe enable me to continue to use the hand bike function or push my chair, but do it in a do it in a setting where I'm not having to actually go anywhere.
Yes, you can get rollers that you can stick the hand cycle onto it and use it as a rolling road.
Didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. You can buy a set of tracks that you can stick the hand cycle on.
Right.
Use it. Is it a clip-on?
It is a clip-on, yeah. It's a clip-on hybrid bike.
Yeah, so what you can do is you can rig it up so you don't actually have to clip it onto the chair at all. If you bolt it down to a rack or something, you can have it on the rollers and use it as a rolling road.
And you would just use a kind of standard set of rollers as you would with a normal bicycle.
Well, actually, I've made mine out of an old running machine. I stripped the running machine down and put the rollers closer together. Somebody threw it away, so I used that. But you can actually buy them for a hand cycle or a hand bike. Yeah, your hand bike, or just I mean, if you're only good with your hands, you can make a frame just for a set of rollers to go on. You can do it that way. But what size wheel have you got? Is it a 24-inch?
The
hand cycle wheel.
It's a Batek hybrid. So I don't know what size the front wheel is.
Is it smaller than a standard wheelchair wheel?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be a 20-inch one. So they're a little bit more tricky to find. But if you do Google it, you can find rolling roads for a 20-inch normal bike, and then they should.
Can I just add something to that?
And that should be able to fit it onto it.
Right.
Go on, Bob.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, I think you are better off doing what Martin said and getting yourself some sort of purpose-built roller. I mean, there are a lot of rolling road platforms that you can use, and I've tried various ones, and they're very, very expensive and not very efficient.
Right. Okay, great. That's fine. Thanks very much.
Good question, Jamie.
I'd like to ask a question. I was actually investigating one of these tabletop things, cycle things, but trying to find one that would be appropriate for me is like looking for a needle in a haystack. Can you recommend it?
Keep your eye out on the Aldi website.
Which one?
Aldi, the supermarket,
Shop?
Aldi. Yeah,
Wow.
they sometimes have them in for about 20, 25 quid.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you talking Aldi as in ALDI or AUDI?
No, the supermarket, Aldi, the same as Lidl's.
Oh, right.
Grocery.
Yeah, you know the thing where Argos has just vomited into the middle of the aisle to deposit all its shit that nobody wants. Yeah, all the gadgets. Yeah, they usually crop up in there at 20 quid. Or you could look on Amazon or eBay. Just look for what you call them.
Yes, I went on eBay last, I think it was Monday, or if not at the weekend, and they had some, but they're all sold out.
Lady Marie, the other person who might be good to speak to about that is Gary Dawson, because I know that he has one. I think I've seen him on a video recently using it, just talking about, you know, tying it to the table and using it for half an hour a day. So in terms of sort of a manufacturer or a supplier, he might have some suggestions. So maybe we could get him to post that onto the chat at some point.
Yeah. Okay. Now, listening to the Wheel Power, getting into these sports, they're not cheap, are they?
It depends how you look at it. Yeah, some sports are expensive and it could be challenging. But not all the sports are expensive.
Do we have to pay for, if we wanted to get into, say, for exercise reasons, get into some of these sports, starting off for the first time, is it quite expensive?
No, and most of the events which we run in Stoke Mandeville, or if you come to one of the sports festival, all these sports festivals are totally free. We don't charge anything. It's 100% free. And once you come to sports festival and you can try different sports and you can identify which sport you like, depending on your capability, you can try something which you have never tried. So if you like it, then the best thing is to find a local club around you and go to the club and try. Normally in any club, in my opinion and my experience, they will offer you at least a couple of sessions free. They will not charge you anything. And after that, it may be worthwhile seeing, trying it. And when it comes to equipment also, I would suggest not to buy in a hurry to buy equipment and invest your money. First, use whatever the sport you pick up. First, all the clubs will have some kind of equipment with them. They will give it to you on loan just to practice and see whether that sport is right for you. So if the sport is right for you, then you can think of buying the beginner's level of equipment rather than buying top-end equipment. In any sport, beginner's equipment are pretty cheap, but if you try to buy the top-end equipment, which is suitable for Paralympic level competition, then you could be spending thousands. So that's how you look at it, actually. Bob, you want to add anything onto that?
What, with finding clubs?
No,
Depending on what
you were
sport
talking about
it
the
is.
costing, yeah.
You're just looking to do some sport, you know, and you'll find you have trouble finding a disabled sport, particularly in your area. I mean, there are. Sorry, you're breaking up a bit there. There are sports out there that you can play with able-bodied friends. I mean, take for instance table tennis or tennis. When I first took up tennis, I didn't know anyone else playing tennis, so I used to play against able-bodied friends.
Okay.
Sorry, Lady Marie.
Yes.
Yeah, I've just stuck a link in the chat. Oh, no, that's. I think the first one I put. It's yeah. No,
yeah.
Again. The little tabletop hand cycle.
Okay.
They've got them at Complete Care Shop.
Yeah.
And they're $16.99.
Wow, I'm gonna have a look at that when we finish.
I've pasted the link, but Jamie, I've pasted a link in the chat again on YouTube, and that link should take you to a YouTube link that actually you can make your own rolling road. It's actually done it on a proper bike, but there's no reason why you couldn't shorten it just to stick under your hand cycle wheel. So they can make one for about $20, it says.
Great, thank you very much.
No worries.
Okay, and one other thing, you know this Peloton bike, you know what they've got. I actually contacted them to find out if they had any for people with disabilities. Of course, no, they don't. It would be good if Wheel Power could do something like that, you know, because I think it might be a good idea to get us, you know, people actually getting involved in, you know, I know we'd have to take out a subscription and all this. Has anyone ever investigated this Peloton bike?
No, but Dominic Coleman does a lot of hand cycling, and he's got quite a lot of information about programs that you can stick onto a tablet that you can stick in front, and there's different variations of the app that you can use to do what you say. So you can just set it up for a group of people who are tetraplegics or whatever, and group it together, and the thing you attach to your cycle is quite cheap. It links to your tablet by Bluetooth, and then you can either race each other or just go through scenery and stuff like that. I'm just in the process of getting a thing to link to my tablet at the minute. I think I've paid about 11 quid for it.
Okay. Thank you.
And Lady Mary, if you're interested in hand cycling in Stoke Mandeville, we have a member sports which is hand cycling UK, and they have their club weekends which you can come and try different types of hand cycle. They charge only £5 for a session when you come there, something very similar, of maybe £5. But first time they might give you the first opportunity free, and you can come there and try different. They have various types of hand cycles, and you can come and try what is good, and you can practice with them. And also there may be a possibility that they are going to launch a loan scheme. You know that hand cycles are quite expensive piece of equipment for somebody to buy and invest your money. Yeah. So we are working with them to provide a loan scheme so that you will be able to pay a very small amount just as a token amount and have a loan. So if you get in touch with Hand Cycling UK, they should be able to offer you some support on hand cycling, which are based at Stoke Mandeville. And I can help you through. If you get in touch with me later on, I'll put you through with the Hand Cycling UK chairman or the secretary.
Okay. The issue is, whilst this is all good, is having to travel all that way.
I believe Regain
where do you live, lady?
Sorry. I believe Regain are just about to do a try before you buy scheme for hand cycles. Again, Dominic Coleman would be the person to talk to.
And there's one in London, Olympic Park. I can't remember exactly what's the name of that.
It takes just as long to get to Stoke Mandeville for me as it does to get to the Olympic Park.
Oh, I see.
London is huge.
Yes, I understand. Sorry about it, lady.
It's probably a bit quicker at the moment, Lady Marie.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the police don't stop me and ask me why am I out. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions they would like to ask Wheel Power?
Actually, just picking up on, sorry, Erin, you.
No, go ahead.
I just wanted to pick up on something that Pasan and Bob both were saying about joining clubs. I've looked at sort of a number of different sports over the last few years. I had my spinal injury 11 years ago. And what I found is actually that it doesn't need to be, and in many ways I preferred it not to be a specifically disabled club, if you see what I mean, rather than just a club that encompassed everyone, you know, able-bodied or somebody with an impairment. I remember a few years ago, my son was about 5 or 6 and decided that he wanted to try karate. And so I found a local karate club and started taking him down there on a Saturday morning. And I probably was there for about 10 or 15 minutes before somebody wanted to try sparring with me. And we started having a conversation about how I would defend myself if I was attacked, and how that, and I was doing karate for the next 6 months, and it was absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed it more than my son did. Yeah, I loved it. And it was just really nice to be in an environment where, you know, irrespective of the fact that I'd rocked up in a wheelchair, it made no difference to them whatsoever, and we were still able to do stuff. So I think, you know, there's something to be said for just contacting local clubs and seeing, you know, what they do, and picking up on the expensive or inexpensive side of it. And when I was paying £5 a week to do the karate per session, you know, which was fine. You know, I played table tennis a while ago, and the only thing I had to do was buy a paddle. So it doesn't have to be, you know, spending thousands on a hand bike. It's perfectly possible to have, you know, really good exercise at significantly less cost.
Okay.
Erin, sorry, Don, I interrupted you.
No, not at all. I have a question that's probably not so applicable to the whole group, because so I'm a walker. I have a fairly low level spinal cord injury, and before COVID, I was swimming, well, kind of swimming. So I would do like one lap just using my arms, and then I would try and like walk back the pool the other way. And so I guess the thing is I'm a walker, but I can't actually get my heart rate up through walking. I can't walk that fast, and I can't walk that far. I can walk only a fraction of what I used to be able to. So I've been trying to do some of the videos online and things, like some of the ones that you've mentioned, and also I think Gym Possible has quite a good workout. But I just wondered if that's the right thing to do, because I can't stand without my crutches or without a rollator. So I can't do any kind of, you know, non-adaptive exercise. So what I'm doing is I'm just sitting down and doing wheelchair adapted exercises, and that feels like something that I can do, and it does feel like it's getting my heart rate up, and so it feels like the right thing to do. But I just wondered if that is actually the right thing to do.
Who wants to take that question?
No, I'll just say no, I think it's good. So I understand, because some of the things, okay, you can't walk, but still if you are sitting and doing something, if it increases your heart rate, that is good enough. It's definitely much better than doing nothing. Yeah. Maybe that your lower body is not getting the same amount of exercise as it is required, the muscles on the lower body, but at least if you don't do anything on the upper body, then nothing is happening. But if you can combine with this, you do some workout by sitting, at the same time do some walking either around the house or around the garden, or if there are steps or if there are staircase, climb up and down few times. That can give enough exercise to your lower body, and do some gardening. It doesn't have to be sport, or it doesn't have to be specific exercise. You can do a lot of things at home and also get in your exercise. What I would suggest is you can do a lot of seated workouts for disabled people, for you to work on your upper body. But in terms of getting some exercise for your lower body, if you can mix it up with some, okay, do 10 minutes or 20 minutes, go for a small walk, whatever you can do, and come back and sit and do it again. Maybe you can hold into somewhere, either table in the kitchen or wall or something, and do some squats. I don't know what's your capability on your lower body, but do whatever possible is definitely better than doing nothing. Definitely you're in the right track.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel better than doing nothing.
No, definitely you're in the right track.
It doesn't feel like I'm doing a lot with my legs at the moment, but no. I'm trying to walk as far as I can.
No,
so
you are right. You are in the right track. Definitely, there are a lot of exercise and workout which are suitable for disabled people. Sometimes I do it. I'm completely able-bodied. I have been to yoga classes, and I joined the yoga classes with adaptive yoga classes, and I feel, yes, it gives me enough exercise, although I'm not disabled. So I'm seated on a chair, I'm doing their classes, and I can feel, yes, that really gives me something after the workout.
Right. Okay.
Would you be able to use a walking machine, like a running machine, just set at a low speed?
Yeah, I have, like, for short times at the gym, and usually, so when I don't swim, I go in and use the like lower body workout machines, which I quite like for like that strength training, but obviously I'm missing that as well.
How far you can walk?
In one go, probably like 200, 300 kilometers, maybe longer if it's a good day.
How long does it take?
So if it's a flat surface, I can probably walk for about 10 minutes before it's either painful or usually just painful at the moment.
I think it's again a good thing. Walking is one of the best exercises which you can do, and it gives a workout for your entire body. And if although you can't swim, swimming is good if you can do swimming. But if you can't do swimming due to the COVID,
Yeah.
I think walking even 10 minutes and taking a break and walking again 10 minutes, and if you can continue that for about 30 minutes at least, that should give you enough sufficient exercise for your lower body.
Okay.
There is something you can buy for game systems. I don't know whether you've seen it. It's meant to be for virtual reality. I don't know how much they are. They might be quite expensive. But basically, you stand on one spot, and the rolling road underneath you, wherever you walk, it rolls in that direction. So it's meant for people who want to play Call of Duty and stuff like that. And you're strapped into a ring that is supported on the floor as well. So it holds you in one position, but basically you can walk and turn. And then when you turn and walk in the other direction, your character on the screen walks and turns in that direction. So it's meant to be for virtual reality, but that might be something that could interest you. But
it definitely would.
it's probably very expensive just for the rolling road with the ring. But I've seen them and they do look very good if you could actually use them.
Amazing.
And also for strength training, as you were saying, my daughter's just given me, because I was going to buy some light weights to do some training. It's the wrist weights. You can put in your wrist or you can put it on your legs to raise your legs up. I had it on this morning trying to do some exercising, and it was quite heavy. I took it off and my hands suddenly felt really light. I was thinking, where did the weight go? It was really, really good.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, walking would be definitely better than doing wheelchair exercises if possible, because if you're going to do exercises like using your shoulders more for hand cycling or just pretending to push the chair and stuff, you're going to do more injury to your shoulders, because the shoulder joint isn't meant to do what it does for us people in a wheelchair. It's not it's not designed to do what it does. So if you can walk, it would be better off walking than doing the hand exercises. But if hand exercises are all you can do, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, I'm trying to do both just because I can't, I feel like I need to walk so that I'm not losing that capability, but then I just can't get my heart rate up enough to feel like I'm getting any kind of cardio from that at all. So that's why I've been trying to do the wheelchair exercises or yoga or whatever I can find online, just to at least get a little bit more motion.
Yeah, if you can, because you don't want your muscles to deteriorate if you can't get out, and walk as much as you can, because then it'll be a lot harder to get back into fitness once the COVID, the virus either kills us all or goes away.
Now, on Monday, the NeuroConnect ladies were saying about helping to keep our heart rate up with doing this motion, as if you're running.
Shadow boxing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That helps to the heart rate.
We're actually sharing some information from that Q&A on our website. So if you have a look on our social media, that will be going out today. And they're also releasing videos. So if you follow NeuroConnect.
Can I say something?
Yeah, Bob. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah. In answer to Erin, I do apologise. My internet's terrible at the moment. I'm missing a lot of stuff. But some of the videos that we're going to be releasing, Ella's workout videos, she does a lot of cardio stuff for the upper body without using any equipment, showing boxing routines and stuff like that. Great. And some movements like by using a broom. So that they would be really good videos for you to look out for.
Brilliant, Ella. So I've just written that down. Thank you.
Ella's workout videos.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay. Right. So, any other questions while we have this captive audience? No. Well, in that case, we've got 6 minutes to go before we end. And as you know, I love my quizzes. So, have you got your general knowledge head on right now?
Right then.
We'll try.
Okay, right. So, first question. Which is the country with the biggest population in Europe? Stunned silence.
Yeah.
France.
Germany.
Germany.
No,
The UK, isn't it?
no.
No.
You're gonna kick
Spain.
yourself. Tell me. Up.
Germany.
Russia.
Sorry? Who said Russia? Well done. You
Took
didn't
me a
know
while.
Russia's not in Europe.
Russia is in Europe.
Geographic, yeah.
Is it?
Europe.
Yes.
Oh.
There you go. Okay.
They shouldn't even be in the Eurovision Song Contest.
Australia are.
Neither should we with some of the songs we've put in.
This is an easy one. Okay. Who portrayed Edward Scissorhands?
Johnny Depp.
Ah, well done. Okay. What are made by cobblers?
Shoes.
Choose.
Would you believe when I asked my daughter that question, you know what she said? What's the place?
Bakers.
The pavement.
I the
Okay, right. What is an endoscope used for?
Endoscope.
Yeah, what is it used to examine?
Your esophagus and stomach.
Yeah.
The inside of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, apart from womanizing and producing films, what was the other passion of Howard Hughes?
Flying.
Flying, yeah.
Yeah, aviation.
Mm.
Can anyone tell me this is an added bonus, what was the name of the airplane that he wanted to build for it to be used in World War II?
Something goose, I think.
Yeah, you're close.
Ooh.
Grey goose or I
Flying
can't remember.
goose.
I can't remember.
Sorry, what did you say, Bob?
Flying goose.
No, the spruce goose.
Spruce goose.
Okay, and last but not least, this is an easy one. I'll end on an easy one. Which English football team plays its home matches at Old Trafford?
Man United.
Yeah.
Okay, well done. Do you want some more? I've got a couple more.
Go on, give us a couple more.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, what color are the 4 stars on the flag of New Zealand?
Ooh.
white.
Red, white, and blue.
No, it's one of those where it's definitely not.
White.
Repeat the
white.
question.
White.
It's not white.
Red.
Yeah, red. Okay. Now, how many states make up the United States of America?
50.
Okay. Mr. Carson is the name of the butler in which popular TV costume drama?
Downton Abbey.
Did you know one, Breeder?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
I'm just proud I knew the answer.
Right. Now, last one. Which German football team won the Champions League in 2013?
Bayern Munich.
Bayern Munich.
That's the only German football team I know.
Bayern Munich.
Nice.
That's it. Right, well, thank you. That was really lovely. I hope you received lots of information today, and I'm going to go away and check out Complete Care right now. Make sure I get my hand bike.
Yeah, if you can't find it on there and they've run out of stock, there's quite a few other places. NRS do it. There's quite a few other places that sell that model.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Cheers.
bye.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Take care.
Thanks.
Now.
Take care.
Good seeing you all.
Bye bye.